Hi, and welcome to NewJerseyBusinessStars.net. This is a platform where we seek out successful business leaders throughout the communities of New Jersey. And my name is Cora Park. I am the founder of NewJerseyBusinessStars.net. I'm also the CEO of Diamond Business Communications. We are a technology company that does service New Jersey area as well. And very excited today. Today we have with us Travis Gleinig. He is the CIO of United Methodist Communities. This is a senior healthcare living community with multi-locations throughout New Jersey, and also over 10 years?
More than 110 years, yeah.
110-year institution, multi-locations throughout New Jersey. A tall job for a CIO, I must say. So, we all want to know how you get it done. And, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and your role?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Travis Gleinig. I'm the CIO of United Methodist Communities. I'm in charge of the strategic direction for all technology in the organization, overseeing new innovations that we put out in our communities, as well as our cybersecurity and all of our IT infrastructure for the organization. Thanks so much for having me, too.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm excited to have you here. We are, one of the things that really strikes with me, of course, in a technology company, is the institution, the organization, 100+ years. Okay, that is a tall roadmap of technology to automate.
Yeah.
I would imagine so. And I got a feeling that your job is, cut out for you, right?
Yeah,
to say the least.
To say the least, absolutely. I would agree. There's a lot of inertia that's been built up over the years that for an organization as old as ours that requires us to overcome those challenges.
Just to get to the automation part of it, what maybe just there's got to be a way that technology and intersects with the care of the patients.
Yeah,
I mean, how does that affect your role?
Yeah, how we deploy technology in our communities that is resident facing, it's very, very important and very intentional by us. We're very focused on positive outcomes for not just health outcomes, but whole person outcomes, including people's level of engagement, psychosocial satisfaction, and so on. So introducing tools and technology that hit those needs of the residents is always paramount importance to us, ensuring that we provide our residents with the ability to live, an abundant life.
That makes a lot of sense. One of the things I do know of United Methodist Communities is that they're faith-based, and their core strategies, or not strategies, but mantra I would say, is that they are providing safe community, right, for the care of the residents, as well as phenomenal health care, okay, and the socialism, the socialization, I should say, not socialism, get us in trouble there, right? The socialization, and we'll put a pin on that. That doesn't come under the CIO umbrella, but it's been a tough road, and but for these residents, I'm sure the technology, the stats are telling us that to communicate with them, they have the texting is up, the FaceTime.
Oh yeah, what we recognized
that
over the pandemic was that there is a really large unmet technology need for residents in terms of their adoption and education in it. We made it a priority to be able to make sure that the residents had the tools and the training to be able to connect with each other and their families during the pandemic, through Zoom and iPads, FaceTime, and all the.
That's incredible. Do you have like lessons for them, or
No, so generally, a one-on-one basis. What we've learned from feedback is that residents really don't like to learn in groups so much. A lot of people are much more comfortable in one-on-one, so things are a lot more tailored to the individual when we try and help.
I can see that, where they just don't want to feel like they don't know something, so it's a little bit, threatening, like, okay, I don't know technology.
Yeah.
But getting back to the management and the oversight of these multi-locations, do you think that company culture plays a big part in your role?
Yeah, absolutely. Culture is critical to, how you get and implement your mission at an organization. Having that top-down um,
Hierarchy?
commitment and
Okay.
commitment to the technology and innovation makes it a lot more acceptable, at the front line when it's being backed up every
Hmm.
level up, and it makes the decision to adopt and fully utilize the technology a lot easier when you have the support of all levels.
I think that's one of the main, you know, key points that I'm hearing in order to get things done. I mean, or
Hmm.
get everybody on board. Top management, has to, be on the boat, so
Yeah,
to speak.
and a big part of that is being able to articulate the benefit that the technology can have on residents and the operation and bottom line, and not all of those things all the time are directly connected, but you have to recognize the value when you see it.
Absolutely. So, with such long roadmap for
Mm-hmm.
automation,
Mm-hmm.
um, how and many projects, I'm sure, that have to be rolled out,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how do you get these projects executed, and what is the secret sauce that you use,
Yeah,
or you feel is key to getting these projects come to life?
sure. I mean, I said it before, but communication is definitely key, and that's not just communicating with the people who you're organizing a project with, but also anybody who's a stakeholder of that project, even so far as residents themselves, being involved
Mhm.
in understanding what a certain platform or technology will do. I don't think that there's any amount of over communication you can do as in terms of implementing a new project.
Sure.
So, you know, putting the opportunity out there for people to be engaged just makes it a lot more acceptable, and allows people to engage at their at their own level of comfort, and pull out if it's irrelevant to their immediate needs. But it makes people feel more engaged and more involved in the process, which makes it overall more successful.
That's totally good. Great advice. Keep the communication going. Do you find that because it's such a multi-location, um, difficulties, trying to get this communication?
Yeah, the difficulties I think come in the fact that as an organization you want to put something out that's a standard, and having multiple communities that all have their own unique personalities and
Hmm.
cultures and people and operations,
As they do, right?
fitting that
Because
in.
they are in different locations, different
Yeah, and they serve
communities.
different
Hmm.
communities, different needs, and I think that that's just part of it, is
Hmm.
being able to try and keep a standard message that is consistent across the organization, to really let people understand that it's beyond their single site.
Right. And I would think that it's got to be most challenging when you're trying to roll out some sort of automation,
Mhm.
and they're just not used to it,
Yeah.
because you know it's like archives, like
Mhm.
when trying to get the file cabinet. We don't use the file cabinet anymore, right?
Yeah, now we use Teams.
Right. We're using the cloud. This is how we roll,
Mhm.
so to speak. So yeah, it's a definite challenging role that you should take a lot of credit for, because being in the technology business myself, that we also encompass the adaption,
Mhm.
of, okay, this is
Yeah,
trying to
more
help
than just buying the
organizations.
latest and greatest, but actually getting the benefit.
Right. Exactly. Great
Mhm.
point. So, what are some other things that you can tell us about Travis
Mhm.
that um, you think are a direct reflection of your success? So, for
Mhm.
example, are there certain rituals you have, or
Oh, I have a very long notebook and
Okay,
many notebooks behind them,
okay,
and I
so
keep everything organized for it. I think it's actually kind of funny, as a technology person, I don't keep my technology work organized digitally.
uh,
I actually do everything in
you're not
notebooks
the
and
first
paper.
technology
Yeah.
person that shared that. It's because it's basic.
Hmm.
So do you have binders, 2.1, 2.5, year?
I wish they were that organized.
So documentation, right? It's all
Mhm.
about the documentation.
Yeah.
Is a direct key to automation.
That's right. Yeah, having the detailed steps and processes that need to be followed well laid out.
That's awesome. So now we are at the Ocean City location, and beautiful location, I must say. Might have to go see if there's a waiting list for myself down the road, right? And how do you manage to oversight, like what are the distance, I guess, between the locations?
The distance between our locations?
Yeah, I mean not exact miles,
Sure,
but just,
yeah. Well, I mean, our communities are spread out all across New Jersey, so we have communities in the northwest corner of New Jersey, and then all the way down here in the southeast corner,
Okay.
and everywhere in between, east on the east coast and the west side of New Jersey.
Wow. So, what is up in front for the next? What's on the roadmap for you, United
Yeah.
Methodist Communities?
I mean, one opportunity I see that's gone beyond resident-facing technology or clinical technology is around optimization of back-end systems, integrations, and refactoring the business processes to fit the new model of the cloud architecture, if you will. A whole lot of the of platforms are what they call zero code or low code platforms that now enable businesses to develop applications in ways that would have taken tons of developers and years to do in the past. The flexibility of that lets businesses be more flexible in terms of how they can how they organize their operations and all the platforms that they use by taking them out of third-party hands and rebuilding them internally with these new tools. You have unbelievable more access to data and the ability to do more app integrations with that data.
So the roadmap that I'm hearing is you have a lot of documentation coming your way.
Yeah, it's a lot of process documentation.
Gathering that data. We have data that's just sitting there. Got to put it to good use, right?
Yeah, I mean, lots of organizations have multiple applications that they use to run their business. Very few of them have integrations and capabilities for data sharing, and all that information there is just kind of being left to waste until the capabilities exist to bring it all together, which they are now.
So you've taken this, and you're taking this data, and now you're going to have these communities communicate, integrate as one, and that's like the key for the role of the CIO is to integrate these organizations to be one.
Make data available to people to make decisions.
That's incredible. Now, is there anything on the site of, and that's a big job. I mean, collecting the data. So I know you handle many projects at one time. Is there anything you'd like to share with us?
A particular project. I mean, I think a huge thing is going to be around automation of processes and systems. Looking operators pulling back staff to a corporate level that has broader oversight of entire operation instead of a single visibility into just a single site, and kind of the tools acting as like a workforce multiplier for people who have the right skills.
It's just giving you this plethora of information. Now you have a creative board, with sitting on all this data, you can now create and make a business model. When there once was, now you can automate it. I mean, we could talk shop. We probably shouldn't do that, right? Okay. So I want to just we'll wrap this up real quick. Already asked you is what's happening. These are good things. I guess we just need to say thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's really a pleasure to have Travis here. And I'm actually at his site, as I mentioned, and it's incredible. So hopefully you picked up some tips. You can share, go out there tomorrow and run a multi-location healthcare, senior living care. So thanks again, Travis, and
Thank you,
it's a
Cora.
pleasure.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thanks.